sports and entertainment video. My name is Wood. Gonna jump right into some bite down boxing. I was trying to stay away. I really was. But because I wanted to see something from a credible source, and I saw something from a mainstream site, which is this new article that's on si.com. Now it is by Chris Mannix, so take that into consideration because we already know what Chris Mannix wants to see. But now I'm seeing stuff about arbitration talks, which is something beyond mediation. We'll get to that in just a second. But something here in a direct comment from Shelly Finkel really raises a red flag for me. Going back to the other situation real quick, though, with some of the videos that have been out there the previous 2 or 3 weeks, the constant questioning of Javon Sugar Hill Stewart. Another thing that I'm waiting for one of the Wilder fanatics, the Wilder stands, Team Wilder supporters, who should, you should have some objectivity in this if you're trying to get to the truth versus just looking for information to support what you already wanted to believe. Those are two different things. But I agree with that. And I might get to that in just a second. But the one question that I'm having, just if anybody is going out here believing the little bit of proof, the little bit of details that we've been provided, this whole situation with the dented head, I'm sorry. I need more. I need more information on that. What injury would have had to have occurred to the brain or to the person? What's the severity of an injury that would result in a head being dented? And would you be allowed to fight anymore? We just saw where Alex Salcedo got injured in his fight, had a brain bleed, and had to retire. I remember back in the day, baby Joe Messi or whatever, he had to retire from a brain bleed. What injury would have had to have occurred for you to have a dent in your head? And would you be able to fight anymore? Would you be comfortable risking it going back in the ring if your head was dented? I wonder if any of these guys, such as the one lawyer cat over there, have you even Googled, dented head? What does it mean? So what I saw was, this is a depressed fracture. Bone fragments could be forced inward toward the brain. You probably would need surgery to get the bone fragments removed to prevent brain damage. So like I said, I just need a little bit more to run with the fact that somebody's skull was dented. I don't know if I really buy that. But the quote here that's bothering me, that's giving me even more concern about the validity or the strength of Team Wilder's case, is this quote right here. This is an article that's up on si.com. I just heard him talking about it on the Boxing Voice before I left my desk. But this is from Shelly Finkel. Quote, "We're going to go for everything we can," says Finkel. "I'm a realist with what I am up against. We have an agreement." This is this part right here that catches my attention. "Even if we didn't have an agreement, we gave Fury 2 shots. He has made more money than he has ever seen. Deontay was very kind to him while he was going through his mental problems. Forget everything else. Morally, he should give him his shot. He said, even if we didn't have an agreement, we gave Fury 2 shots." Why would you say that? If you're in negotiations, why would you say that? That sounds like right there that I've made a mistake. That sounds like I've made a mistake. I'm trying to shift this over to the court of public opinion because I need some help with y'all leaning on him to get this done. What do you mean, even if we didn't have an agreement? You either do or you don't, or you know whether you do or you don't. Why would you have said that? The fact that he has made more money than he has ever seen, that's irrelevant. Deontay was very kind to him while he was going through his mental problems. That's very irrelevant. Forget everything else. Morally, he should give him his shot. His case sounds fugazi to me. I'm sorry. And I'm trying to be objective, but if your case is ironclad, if you have a legit, that's it. This is Shelly Finkel's words. I'm not making this up. This isn't off of, now this is SI.com. This is SportsIllustrated.com. You be the judge of it. In my opinion, it sounds like he's not too, he doesn't believe in what he's trying to get accomplished. We're going to go for everything we can, says Finkel. I'm a realist with what I'm up against. We have an agreement. Even if we didn't have an agreement, we gave Fury 2 shots. He has made more money than he has ever seen. Deontay was very kind to him while he was going through his mental problems. Forget everything else. Morally, he should give him his shot. Well, not really. Not necessarily. Especially if he believes that he won, out of 17 rounds. If he thinks he won, sounds like the chickens coming home to roost for Team Wilder. He tried to play hardball with AJ, and now he had the ball snatched from his buyers. It seemed like his team failed him. Conversely, like I was talking about the other day with Tevin Farmer, and I don't agree with what JoJo Diaz has done. From what I'm getting from that situation is Tevin Farmer, because somebody asked about that earlier. Tevin Farmer, they signed a 2-fight agreement or rematch. It was a rematch clause when they fought for Farmer's IBF belt back in last January. They agreed to the purses for both fights. After JoJo won the fight, JoJo is coming back and saying that he's not getting paid enough for the second fight, so he doesn't feel like he should have to fight Tevin Farmer. That's different. If you agreed to what you agreed to, then you got to go. That's your pay. You can't sit here now and say, he even said it. I put the video up last week. He was on the Akin Barak show and said that Tevin Farmer should take less money than what Tevin Farmer agreed to, negotiated and agreed to. He said that Tevin Farmer should take less of a cut and give it to me. How does that work? He could do that. What's up, Valentine? Tevin Farmer could do that, but Tevin Farmer doesn't have to do that because he negotiated what he wanted and he agreed to it. You got to go fight. And if Golden Boy didn't get you to, if Golden Boy wasn't on top of their game and representing their fighter to make sure that if he won, he was at least receiving no less than 50% of the second fight, well, then your team screwed you. That's in my opinion, in that situation, Tevin Farmer has a claim that carries some water. This situation right here, even if we didn't have an agreement, we gave Fury 2 shots. Now you just trying to reason and bargain, and unfortunately, I mean, they don't have to do anything. Deontay Wilder doesn't have to be made whole in this situation. That's it, man. You only worth what you can negotiate. It's not what you know, it's what you can prove. These are very simple principles. So, like I said, I've been trying to stay on the sidelines because I just want to get to the bottom of all this stuff myself. So then it goes on to say, Fury, however, is deep in discussions to face Anthony Joshua in a title unification fight. Last fall, A financial structure for a Joshua Fury fight was agreed to. Representatives for both fighters have been sifting through possible locations to hold the fight in late spring. That scenario would leave Wilder scrambling for a new opponent. Asked about Martin, Finkel said that the one-time title holder was one of several names under consideration for a Wilder fight. Another quote, if we can't get the Fury fight, even that sounds shady. Shaky. If we can't get the Fury fight, Deontay needs to be active. So he's already setting y'all up for what the truth is. He's already alluding to the fact we don't have much ground to stand on here. If we can't get the fight, it seems like he would have said if we can't get the Fury fight that we're owed, if the case doesn't come out in our favor, it seems like he would have said that differently. And I'm not just trying to mince up words for the fact of, semantics and whatever, but Shelly Finkel just sounds like a weak link here. And that was another thing I was going to mention, Hypno. Can I see that again? Ruiz was lucky that AJ decided to add $3 million in his purse for the rematch, but not everyone is going to play. And that's what as I was walking out to my car, that's the other thing that I was thinking was like, Eddie Hearn takes a lot of stick. We hear a lot of stuff in the States about how Eddie Hearn is hated. But Hearn did go back and do right by Ruiz. Like you said, I think he gave Ruiz the Mexico pay-per-view or some portion of the Mexico pay-per-view revenue. And then he added that extra money onto his thing. He said, well, you know what? I don't want no problems because you're talking about you don't want to fight in the UK. And, that's a valid concern. Okay, I'm going to work with you. Here goes a few extra million. I'm going to help you out a little bit. And then we're going to let you take this Mexico money. And then you're going to bring your ass over here to Saudi Arabia. And you're going to fight. And that's how it played out. This same group of cats talking this Wilder stuff was all gung-ho on what was going to happen with that. And that the contract, this was going to happen and that was going to happen. And we saw what happened in the end. And now the same dudes out here with the channels running around with all this continued talk. Wilder, this man said, even if we didn't have an agreement, we gave Fury 2 shots. What did you sign for? What did you negotiate and agree to? That's all I want to hear. So we'll see what happens, but sounds like they kind of SOL. For real. Even in layman's terms or whatever, that's what I'm getting out of this. He said we're going to go for everything we can. Why do you need to make that type of statement? Like, why not just it'll be decided by the courts? He definitely sounds like a man that's not negotiating from a position of power. If you want to be objective about it, it doesn't sound like he's got a good case. And it sounds like he knows it. Let me see what you just said. They had 2 fights agreed to initially. The draw was 1 and the Wilder KO was the 2nd. So that's it, man. I just, again, when you tell me about a dented head and the people that have had Deontay Wilder on their podcast, whether even Brian Custer on The Last Stand, bruh, if your head, I think I watched all of that interview, but if your head was dented, I don't see any scar on the side of your head where where you had surgery to remove the bone fragments. Did they do an MRI or a CAT scan or whatever the hell to make sure there was no further risk of brain damage? Like, that's real stuff. That's serious stuff to talk through. How do you just skip over that? Yeah, my head was dented, but we gonna go on and get this third fight in. Like, seriously, like, bruh, are you medically okay to be fighting again? I'm just gonna go resume my career with the dented head. Anyway, that's it, man. I ain't gonna hold y'all up, man. I want to see, you know, if the Martin fight gets done, that's dope. If there's a Ruiz fight in the future, that's dope. I said earlier, you know, with all right, hitting the fist. Even the chickens could really come home to roost if there is, in fact, any discussion about a Dillian White and Deontay Wilder fight. I mean, you might hate the man, but it's something that could be sold. And it's somebody, like I said, the Zone would probably pay for that. If Dillian White gets past Povetkin. I said this years ago when they couldn't get this fight done from the beginning. That when people were all mad and pointing the finger at Joshua, everybody was mad at Eddie Hearn. And then Joshua lost. And I was like, you know what? Boxing has a way, it might not be what we wanted, but boxing has a way of working all of this stuff out. And I'm not going to get too upset about it. They didn't handle business. They didn't take care of everything and deliver the fight. Deontay Wilder goes out and loses. And now everybody needs everybody a little bit more than what they needed each other back when this shit started.
Please fasten and drop your seatbelt.
And on top of that, nobody is really going to be stupid enough to risk, if a second chance comes about for people to get paid on a major level, nobody's going to really be pussyfooting around and emails not getting read or something not getting verified. All of that stuff's not going to happen the second time because they know we could have had the bag back in the day. But we bullshitted around. It cost everybody a lot of money, a lot of time. And we had the risk of not even being able to take advantage of everything that built up to make this fight as appealing as it was. So everybody's going to need each other. And that's why Deontay Wilder is on the outside looking in right now. Because somewhere, somebody wants this other fight. And nobody wants Fury and Wilder 3. Except for the 2 or 3 channels out here leading the discussion on whatever, you know, the made up bullshit. So it is what it is. Anyway, man, appreciate it. I'm gonna try to go sneak this little, I'm gonna get a salad for lunch. Still trying to make up for, you know, some poor eating choices during the holidays. So I'm gonna go get this salad. Try to do these 100 burpees tonight for the workout that I'm gonna try to do for the next 30 days. Y'all have a good one. You know, good luck out there with listening to some of the back and forth and the conjecture. Like I said, I just heard the end of some stuff on the Boxing Voice. Somebody was on there talking about arbitration and mediation and a bunch of law stuff. You know, you gotta be careful with where you get some of this stuff from. I'm out. Peace.